Yeah, you may experience some uncomfortable feelings, social anxiety, nervousness, those butterflies, whatever it may be. But there's something that we can do. I was listening to a podcast that I felt was quite powerful, and it was just a really cool revelation and a reflection. Let's dive into it.
Brother, you can't be like you're handing out a platter of food for these people. Like, do what you want to do. And I was like, I just got to get good. Yeah, I got to wrap my head around that. You're right. You know, I just try to, I would just try to make the audience so happy. You're like, stop it. And you got to let go. And you'd get me going crazy. I'd get all fired up there. I'd be like yelling at people. They'd be like, whoa. It's like, wow, maybe we bring it back a little bit. But it was different, man. It really was. It really taught me to, most of all, to be comfortable in front of an audience and not care about them. You know, I literally battle with it to this day.
Yeah.
That anxiety of, oh gosh, I get nervous and I start overthinking things.
Now, if you don't know who this is Kevin James. He was the star on The King of Queens, which I think they had a lot of seasons back in the day. This was a big TV show. He also does like really amazing like YouTube skits and stuff like that. Like the guy is very talented, funny guy, an amazing actor, been doing stand-up comedy as well for 30 years. And what I found interesting was you would assume somebody who is a TV star has done all these things, and for them to say, I still experience anxiety. And every single time I still experience those emotions. But what I love about him saying this and this vulnerability, because even for me, I was like, man, you know, these guys do shows, you know, they've done TV shows, and I want to learn how to become a really good public speaker. You know, I speak online, I do all these things. You know, I did a speech a few weeks ago in front of some people, but I still get very nervous when I do it. And it's almost like I'm not nervous before, like I'm like, oh, I'm prepared, I can do this, I'm fine. But as soon as I get up there, out of nowhere, anxiety sweeps in. And I'm like, man, when is this ever going to stop? And then I realized, never. You're probably always going to feel that. But the way you journey through that can change. The way you prep your mind, the way you calm your breath, the self-talk, the way you enhance yourself, learn more who you are so you can feel rooted in your own truth, strong in your foundation. Those things can mature. Those things can give us the confidence to go out and do anything that makes us feel uncomfortable. But when it comes to anxiety, sometimes certain types of anxiety, right? I don't want to lessen anyone's experience, but let's talk about social anxiety. When it comes to social anxiety, some of us be like, man, I just want to be confident like them. Not realizing they probably experience what you are experiencing as well. They've just developed the tools to journey through that emotion, right? Emotional regulation. They tell their mind, listen, it's okay how you feel right now. That's all right. But everything is going to be okay. We will experience the anxiety forever, but the way we journey through it can change.
Maybe he just went off the rails with anxiety when success starts, because that's one of the things that does happen. And I've talked about it. I think everybody admits it. When it first starts happening, you think it's going to go away. You get super anxiety ridden. You feel like an imposter.
Very interesting, actually. This actually happened to me. Before I blew up online, very confident. You know, I was like, yo, I deserve to be here. Everyone's sleeping. No lie, I'm like, everyone's sleeping on me. You understand? Like that was my attitude since I was 5 years old. I was such a cocky little kid. But then I blew up online, and once you get all that attention, boom, and anxiety does actually sweep in. And then you start to question like, oh, do I deserve to be here? And that imposter syndrome happens. And I've been seeing a lot of people talk about this, how you really got to like just step up and like own who you are and have the audacity to really be like, I deserve to be here. But anxiety takes over. And again, you may look at people who are above you in a way that you think are above you, living the life. You're like, oh, if I had that, I wouldn't have anxiety. If I had that money, if I looked like that, I wouldn't feel like this. But it's not true. Every single human goes through the same things, just in our own unique experiences. Everyone experiences anger, love, jealousy, joy, laughter, anxiety. But if you experience, mild anxiety, or sometimes it takes over and you stop yourself from opportunities or going into certain social situations because you think, I will do those once this anxiety disappears, my friend, it's never going to disappear. But we can mature through it.
My bud, I'm telling you, I still deal with that. I'm not even kidding.
Yeah.
You obviously don't, and you haven't.
I do, though.
Do you really?
Though. Yeah, I do. I just ignore it. I tell it to shut the fuck up.
Well, that's what you got to do, I guess,
Yeah.
and that's what I don't do enough because I start thinking, and I start overthinking both sides. I'm like, oh gosh, what if this happens or this means something to this day.
We're going to experience anxiety, but the way we journey through it can change. Like here, Joe has a very direct approach. He just tells us to shut the F up, uses his spirit, his soul to explain to the mind, listen, I know you don't want to do this thing. I know you're getting anxious, but trust me, I got you. I got you. We can do this, You can start to work on the neuroplasticity of your brain and grow that part of the brain that doesn't fear resistance anymore, that doesn't run away, but instead you can move through it. You can journey through it. I'm telling you, like I used to be I did club promotions when I was younger, and I would go to work and just be full of anxiety because I'm constantly having to promote things, talk to mad people, strangers, all of that. And I would just go home every day just wishing I wouldn't feel this feeling. I'm like, well, when will it go away? When will it go away? But it didn't. I just learned how to journey through it. I learned how to communicate better. But most importantly, I learned more about myself. The more I learned about myself and I started to love myself and my uniqueness, the less I had anxiety, the less I was afraid in social situations of saying the wrong thing or being received wrong or just, not being able to have like good dialogue. All of that started to go away. And I started to journey through my mind in a way where I was like, listen, my mind may say one thing, but that's not true. And I'll tell it otherwise. I see the mind as a tool, as a partner. If my mind is getting real negative or trying to convince me not to do something that I know I should be doing, I see it as my sparring partner, like my bigger brother, just teasing me, saying like trying to pull the best out of me. Instead of believing my mind and allowing it to trick me into stagnancy and complacency, I look at it like my sparring partner. So what do? I spar back. And I'm like, oh, you say I can't do this, I don't deserve to be here. I am here. I'm gonna go anyway. And what happens after we do something, we always feel a little bit better, don't we? Now we have a little bit of evidence. I talk about this a lot. Once we have the evidence, we have more confidence and we move forward. You will experience every emotion for the rest of your life. But the way you journey through these emotions will change. Some people, when they're younger, they struggle with anger. They don't know how to control their anger or what to do with their anger, right? So what do? They hit the wall. They punch a hole in the wall, right? As they grow, they mature. They start to regulate those emotions and they find other ways to channel that anger. They pause, they breathe, they communicate. They don't hold that resentment in, right? Same thing goes with a lot of different type of emotions. Some people learn how to channel it through their creativity. At one point, they allowed that energy to go into toxic behaviors. And then they learned a better way. They still experience those emotions that they don't like, that make their spirit uneasy. But the way we journey through it can change. It's a maturing process of the spirit, of the mind, right? So one thing for me, what always helped was not fearing it. Oh yeah, I don't like these emotions, but I'm not afraid of them because I know I'm going to experience them. It's like I live in a place that has 4 seasons. Imagine if every year I was afraid of the rain. I'm like, I know the rain is going to come. There's going to be rainy days. I accept that. But what can I do about those rainy days? Use an umbrella. You know what I'm saying? Know that these rainy days will pass. Like the Tao says, when it's a good day, be grateful, have gratitude, because a bad day is going to come. But when it's a bad day, what else should we do? Have gratitude, be grateful, even be happy if you can. Why? Because a good day is right around the corner. When I want to navigate those rainy days or those bad days, it helps for me to have a sense of direction, something to work on, community, and accountability, which can give us the support that we need to achieve our dreams. You can find more information on my own private community on my website, which is powered by Squarespace, who is our sponsor of the day. So whether you're just starting out or managing a growing brand, Squarespace makes it easy to create a beautiful website, engage with your audience, and sell anything from products to content all in one place, all on your own terms. What I love about Squarespace is they're always evolving and bringing in new features so we can truly succeed with our goals and our business. Squarespace now has AI and SEO tools. Start a completely personalized website with the new guided design system, Squarespace Blueprint. You can choose from professionally curated layout and styling options to build a unique online presence from the ground up. You can launch your website and get discovered fast with integrated optimized SEO tools, so you show up more often to more people and grow the way you want. And to serve your customers or your future customers even better, you can make checkout seamless for your customers with simple but powerful payment tools. You can accept credit cards, PayPal, and Apple Pay, and in eligible countries offer customers the option to buy now and pay later. Trust me, with Squarespace, you can stretch your imagination online with their fluid engine and now use the power of Squarespace AI to kickstart or update written content on any website. You can generate instant personalized text, make it easier to go live, stand out, and succeed online. If you're ready to take your online presence to the next level, head to squarespace.com for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch your website or domain, go to squarespace.com/HINDZ to save 10% off your first purchase. We will experience negative emotions for the rest of our life, things that unease our spirit, but the way we journey through them will change. You don't have to see your emotions as you if that does not serve you. You don't have to see your thoughts as you. A lot of thoughts are just passing by. You can actually observe the mind, can't you? Like, you can actually observe your own thoughts. So who is observing the thoughts? Think about that. So as you're observing the thoughts, the ones that do not serve you, don't identify with them. Don't adopt them. See them as if they are literally just passing through your mind and then they're going through somebody else's mind, waiting for someone to adopt that bad thought. And you're like, nah, I'm not taking you. I'm not taking you. And instead, I'm gonna breathe through this. I'm gonna affirm to myself, everything's going to be okay. I'm gonna lean into my courage. I'm gonna learn more about myself so I can utilize my gifts, my strengths, stop comparing myself and stand in this world and show who I am. Because the greatest gift that you can give to this world is your true self. We all experience the same emotions. We just experience them in our own unique ways, and we also journey through them in our own unique ways. But don't assume you are ever alone in some type of anxiety. Don't assume when you turn on these screens and you see someone who's super successful and rich and all of that, and you look at them as confident as they seem, and you're like, how do they do that? You don't know what they are feeling. You have no idea what they felt before they went out on that stage or turned on that camera. They may feel the same as you, but the way they journey through that is different than you. But you can journey through it in a new way as well. Again, the emotions we will experience forever, but the way we journey through them will change. So let's work on that.